Hello and welcome to United We Podcast, brought to you by the United Corpus Christi Chamber of Commerce. I'm your host, Al Ariola Jr., President and CEO. United We believe in the power of collaboration, the strength of advocacy, and the endless possibilities of growth. From advocating for local businesses to fostering growth opportunities, we're here to ignite conversations that matter. This is United We Podcast. Welcome back, Chamber family and friends, to United We Podcast. Today is a Triton takeover. We have the owner and one of the newest players for the Tritons joining us today, Kevin Cecil, the owner, and Aaron Dilworth. Kevin, I'm so curious about owning a football team and what the prospects of all that was when it first started. Was it a group that started pitching, or you found them, they found you? How did this all get started?
So it actually goes back with the Gunslinger days.
Oh, wow.
My buddy Hector, he was the owner and founder of the Gunslingers.
Yeah.
And I worked with him on a part-time event. And we got to talking, and I told him, how's the Gunslingers going? When are you going to retire? Stuff like that. And he's like, man, it's going great. What about you? I was like, man, I want to get into sports security, but I don't want to go to school for that, right? I want to get my foot in the door and kind of intern and get in. And his biggest thing was like, okay, I got something for you. And I'm thinking what do you mean you got something for me? I just, what does that mean? Give me something, right? Tell me a little bit more. And he was like, think about it. So I sat on the decision for about a month, talked to my wife about it, told her what was going on. And she asked, what do you have to do? I'm like, I don't know. I have no idea.
So I'm trying to figure that out, yeah.
So I'm trying to figure that out. I have no idea. And she's like, okay, well, if we don't have to put any money in and just time investment and you're going to learn, then yeah, go for it. So at that point, I was going to come in as a GM for one of the Corpus teams that we're going to bring back then. And then obviously with every team, you have, trial and tribulation and stuff happens. The team got sold from us. We learned from those avenues of what happened, and we ended up moving forward. So when it got brought up to me, they asked hey, do you want to take over and do a team thing? And I was like, yeah. I was like, all I can do is try, right?
Sure.
I mean, you can try it. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, then it doesn't work. And it's kind of like another eyesore that happens in a sense in the arena game, because the arena game is tough. Uh-huh. It's really tough to get going, especially when you're not one of those made of money and you come up and just a base price to get something going like this is anywhere between $500,000 to $800,000.
Yeah.
So having good mentorship and business partners is what made it successful for us. So when I said I want to go back to Corpus, a lot of guys asked why. I was like, well, let's go to Corpus. Who was in Corpus in 2014 when the Fury won their championship game? I was, and that was exciting. So it was one of those where I wanted to bring it back. I knew the challenges, and we just went with it.
Well, you brought up the Gunslingers because I think that, as far as what I observed on the peripheral, that there was some success there, but there was, like you said, just some business challenges, I guess.
Yeah, business challenges. I think everything that you go into, you're going to have business challenges. It's just like when you want to start a restaurant to a landscaping business to podcasting to whatever, you're going to have issues. Yeah, they are successful. They're in their fourth year right now in the IFL. So what Hector and Jason did with them to, have it continue is great. It's a great success story, even though ownership changed. So now that we're down here in Corpus and I'm at the helm of that, and, I have family here, so it kind of makes it easier for me to go travel and stay with family to be part of events if I have to be with, some part of events and do all that stuff.
Okay. And so I'm now more curious too, what were you doing before football?
I was working. I was a cop.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I worked for Bexar County Sheriff's Office in the jail.
Okay.
I did that. Now I'm with New Braunfels Police Department in the city of New Braunfels. So I've been doing that for about 5.5 years with them. So total time, 10.5 years in law enforcement.
Well, thank you for your service to us. Yeah,
Thank you.
Wow. Okay. Well, and I know you're the team. If you could maybe describe to our audience what the building the team looked like, the recruitment of Tritons.
Yeah, so, I know you asked Melina earlier that, did they have different names that came across?
Yeah, I was going to ask you that.
Yeah, we had different names. We're looking at Corpus Christi Neptunes, we're looking at Corpus Christi Phantoms, we're looking at all different kinds of things. And then when we came with the Tritons and we saw that logo, we're like, oh, that's it.
That's the one.
That's the one. That's the one sticking. So getting into arena football, you have your owner, so you have your CEO, which is me. You got your chief operations officer, which is Jody Alvey. And then you go down to your team president, Hector Garcia, Director of Operations, Jason Torres. You got Melina as our marketing public relations. We have April as our Director of Sales. We have Michaela and Isabel that are going to help with game day operations. We have our GM, who's Jonathan. So it's a whole team, right?
So there's a team on the field and a team off the field.
Yeah, it takes everybody to get this going. This isn't one of those things where it's overnight. You just dream about it and one day it happens. This is 2 years in the making to get it going.
Yeah.
just to show you how long it took. It's not something that happened within 6 months. You know, there's a lot of thought process that goes into it. There's a lot of money movement. There's a lot of networking, resources, stuff like that. So it's a lot of work, but the fun part is when you see the success at the end of the tunnel, you know you did something right.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought up Alina. So, you guys, as an organization, seem to have found value in the chamber right away. That you said we got to join the chamber even before the footballs hit the field. You guys were already kind of connecting and networking. And what I want to personally thank you for is something near and dear to my heart here at the organization is we do a lemonade day, which is for youth entrepreneurship, and you guys were all over that. You had the mascot, at places. It was really cool to see your community engagement and your commitment to the community. Now let's talk a little bit about the team on the field. Are we still building that team, recruiting that team, or? I know we have a player right here with us.
We got Aaron with us. We actually have Coach Chavez, he's our head coach. We have Coach Anderson, who's our defensive coordinator, and then we have Coach Flowers, who's our defensive back special team. So as far as our players go, I think right now we have 36 guys in training camp. I think that's what we're going to roll with. We have the opportunity to have 40, but I think we're going to just leave that 4 vacant. And then through training camp, it's 3 weeks. They're going to go Monday through Friday. Saturdays will be a scrimmage. Sundays will be cuts. So we have this little app that all the ownership's in, including players and coach, has been sending these guys conditioning workouts each week. So it's going to show. It's going to show the ones who've been conditioning and the ones who haven't. Like I tell everybody, let the best 25 men get that roster spot. If you don't make it, it's not on us. It's on you. You failed to train appropriately to get to where you want to get to.
You want a good team. You want a solid team that understands what it takes to be successful. And so, Aaron, I understand you've had a kind of a career in football. You're from the area. You went to Flower Bluff High, yeah?
Yeah, I went to Flower Bluff High School, and I played there my freshman all the way to my senior year, and then played at A&M Kingsville.
Okay.
Played there for 3 years. My senior year was COVID year, so we ended up, only playing 2 games, and I ended up transferring to a D2 out in Oklahoma called East Central, and played 2 games there. And kind of, COVID messed that up, so ended up going the arena route and played for a team called the West Texas Warbirds. They're actually in the AFL right now.
Okay.
And after playing for them, I played 7 games there, and then played in the IFL in Sioux Falls. Played 8 games there and got called up to the CFL and was there for a year for 2 games. And then for the rest of the year, I was on practice squad there, and then ended up getting cut, coming back home, and didn't know if I was going to play, and ended up going to an NFL camp. It's called the NFL Alumni Academy, and got picked up in the XFL draft in the 5th round last year.
So that was during the relaunch of the
XFL,
okay.
Yeah. So I was picked by the Orlando Guardians last year, and ended up was on training camp, broke my foot, and ended up coming back towards later last year. Played with Bay Area in the IFL. They won the championship last year in the IFL. So about 6 years just playing here and there, and definitely had fun with it, and just wanted to come back home. And so when I saw the opportunity, I kind of jumped on it, talked to Kevin and Coach Chavez for a while about it, and we made a decision for me to come home, and I think that's the best thing that I could do now is come home and try to win us a championship here.
That's what's up. What position are you playing?
Play wide receiver.
Okay. I'm sorry about your foot, and it sounds like the XFL was I was kind of keeping up with the relaunch, and I think they're even reimagining themselves as a league too, right? There's a merger or something like that. Yeah. Your time in Kingsville, they're a D2 school too, right? One of the best.
Yes, sir. Yeah, conference was actually really crazy my junior and senior year. I want to say Texas A&M Commerce won it my junior year. Tarleton also. They're both D1 now.
Okay.
So when I was going there, they were both in my conference. West Alabama, we played them my freshman year. Tyreek Hill was there. Just a lot of guys. I want to say that conference puts a lot of guys in the NFL. So, and a lot are still active right now.
So as a wide receiver, I got to ask this question, especially the difference with the arena league. Are you afraid of the walls at all?
No, I'm not worried about it. So,
with his experience, he better not be afraid of the walls.
So I got to play. I would say my biggest eye opener from transitioning from West Texas was going to Sioux Falls and playing there.
Not much to do, I imagine.
Not at all. Small town. So football, you really get in your playbook there, and it's really time consuming. So I was able to learn a lot there, and I feel like the arena game was really built around Curtis Riggs. So big help with me learning how to brace for the wall and impact for the game and all that stuff. So.
What are you finding uniquely different besides the wall? The pace of it, or
I like how fast paced it is, and a lot of people don't understand you're supposed to score a lot of points. So if you do have a good defense, they give up maybe 30, 40 points.
oh wow, that is a lot of points.
But it's supposed to be for the offense. As far as receivers, I like it because we're already in motion before the play starts. So I'm running full speed at the DB before the play even starts.
Oh, so you can give him a good lick if you wanted
Yeah.
to, too. Yeah,
I can block him. I can run. He has no idea what I'm really doing, and so it's very hard to guard us. And that's why I feel like I have a lot of success as well as an arena as well.
So how excited are you the season that's coming up?
This is probably the most excited I've been to play football in a long time. My whole family gets to come to the games. The whole community, everybody probably hasn't seen me play football since I was a little kid. So this is very exciting for me, and I hope we can not just win, but win some championships down here for Corpus.
Win big, win big. Well, Kevin, how excited are you, man? I imagine this is a dream. Like finally, you're seeing it more and more come true. Sherry, you want to share your excitement?
Oh
about
man,
this?
it's when I first started and I had all these doors closed on me, right? And people are like, "Man, another arena football team. We wish you the best of luck. Reach out to these people, see what they did different." So I reached out to a couple people and I was like, "What happened with the teams in the past, right?" And they told me. I was like, "Okay, cool." So I can learn from that, move forward.
There you go.
And learning from those mistakes and moving forward, from their mistakes, I should say, moving forward, it made it easier for us. So I already tell everybody, I'm like, you'll probably catch me somewhere in the corner crying first game when we kick off because it's just a thing of emotions, right?
Yeah.
You work so hard for something within 2 years of trying to get this going that when we talked to the league, they weren't going to come until 2025.
Oh, wow.
And I told them, I was like, yeah, we can't do that. Like I've been telling the city 2024, and I don't trust the other league right now because of their financial situation that they're in, and it doesn't make sense. So how can we help each other out? And it worked, man, from us doing the owners meeting here in Corpus to having all the other league owners or the team owners here to getting everybody tickets to see the top-ranked boxing event that happened. Like the hospitality and everything that we put up for everybody was phenomenal. Everybody's like, man, that was class act, to doing our press release on the Lexington with Melina's help, to getting a congressional recognition from a congressman here, to now the next thing we're getting is our military first responder game, April 19th. We're getting a Texas Purple Heart proclamation.
Oh, very cool.
So, a lot of things that we're doing, we're setting milestones and we're different. And that was my always thing coming in here. I want to be different. I don't want to follow the same footsteps moving forward. What can we do to be different? So first game, March 17th, it's a whiteout game. We did a 48-hour flash sale for our fans to buy tickets to get white jerseys. So we'll be ordering those soon to get those here before the first game. But that's going to be like the big game. That's going to show what product that we're putting out on the field to start building our own fan base. We've built it now. But once they see the action, start accumulating more of that fan base and building a bigger fan base and getting the name out there for us.
Right. Yeah. Folks don't know what they don't know, right? But when they see it, it's a lot different, and you're starting to see the branding and your community engagement and impact. I'm glad that you brought up the league and what you guys did as far as bringing folks from all over to Corpus. What sports does is it has an economic impact, and you're already, so to speak, bringing every guest that came is staying at a hotel room, is buying food at a restaurant, and it's trickling down to businesses. And I hope our businesses see the value and get engaged with you guys, because I know we're excited for our partnership here at the Chamber that we have a suite on the ground level, and we're going to get to see you in action and all that high flying action that's going to happen. The playoffs. What does that look like? Is it like a top division leader, or?
Yeah, so I'm going to touch base on that. So going back to playoff ranking. So basically, like Aaron said, it's all about fast pace and scoring high points, right? So your main mentality is to score over 60 points. The higher the points you score, it all accumulates, right?
Okay.
So you'll have your top two teams that go into playoffs with one division, the other division, and then once they finish there, whoever held the highest number of points in that seed will then take home field advantage. So our biggest push, we would love to have a championship game here at home first year. That'll be huge for us. Even if we can't have it at home, but we take it off to the road, but we're able to bring that championship back. Again, that's a milestone that's set, right? That's something that we want, but we know with our coaching staff and our players, there's a lot of training and practice that goes into it. We'll find out first game when they play this preseason game who's about it and who's not about it. And there's going to be cuts. There's going to be a lot of heartbreaks, right?
Sure.
We don't make hearts, we break hearts in this industry, you know. So it's one of those where if you don't show out and you don't produce what you're supposed to produce and you don't listen to the coach, you're not coachable. There's nothing I can do there. You know, that's a reflection of you, not the organization.
Sure. No, of course. Well, and getting to know the championship itself, is the championship game already set in a city, or is it based on who's the top?
It's going to be based on who's the top seed.
Oh, wow.
So there's that potential. If we stay top seed all the way through, we can bring that championship here to the American Bank Center.
Oh, that'd be incredible. Can you share your experience so far with the American Bank Center and how accommodating they've been? Because I know the OVG group has been very good about bringing new events and working with interested partners. Have you enjoyed that relationship?
Yeah, absolutely. I know a lot of people said when we first came in, they're going to be hard and they're going to be tough. Are they hard and were they tough? Yes, but the reason for that is they're structured.
Sure.
And I like that. They don't just want to bring stuff in that's not going to work.
Right.
And if they do bring something in, they want to see and make sure that it's going to work, right? There's revenue behind it that they're also getting, because if it doesn't bring them revenue, it doesn't bring the city revenue. And with us, we're going to bring the city revenue, we're bringing tourism, we're bringing all that. So when a away team comes, it's not just the players, it's their fan base, it's their family, it's their friends, so there's more revenue that comes into the city. So working with the guys over at the American Bank Center, they're nothing but great.
That's great.
I mean, we stay in constant communication. They let us know, hey, we got this. Like, we just had to move a date from April 13th to April 14th. And without, they could have done it without telling me.
Sure.
But they told me, like, hey, man, just because, we got top ranked boxing coming back in, we're going to have to move you guys. Is that cool? I'm great with it. Within our contract, it says you guys have 30 days to do that. All I ask is just push out a press release. And they did, and it worked. So communication is key. I just feel if we communicate and we work hand in hand, a lot of things get done a lot faster.
Well, that sounds like it's going to be a fun weekend in Corpus Christi. You have boxing one day and then football the next. Yeah. That's what we're excited about, seeing the level of activity happening at the Bank Center. It's a lot different than it was a couple of years ago. Now we got football back. They're doing concerts like crazy. I mean, Lil Wayne was here. I'm just been more than impressed, like you said, that they're trying to really make an impact and bring some value to the community with some pretty cool events. And I really think this is going to be one of the cooler ones we're going to see.
Yeah.
Is there anything in particular or anyone in particular you guys want to give a shout out? We'll start with you, Kevin. Is there anyone you want to show some love to?
Yeah. I mean, my day one, my wife, man, she's been my big supporter on this. I mean, if it wasn't for her, I don't think I'd be doing this. I mean, she's been through the rut with me. She's done a lot for me. I mean, we've argued.
Sure.
And I mean, there's times where I've been away from the house a lot more than I've bargained for, especially being in law enforcement. So she takes the realm on that. She'll take the helm, and she's my everything. She's my rock, my support. So because of her, I think that's the main reason why I'm able to do this. And then it comes down to my guys, in the front office, to Melina, to the players, the coaching staff. I mean, I was talking with Aaron, and he's like, man, I've never dealt with an owner who would legitimately sit there and talk with his players. Like, how are you doing? How's everything going? Do you need anything? He's like, that's just not normal for people who are in that ownership aspect, right? And like I told Aaron, we're all human, right? We're all human. I'm not better than anybody else. We're all the same. I just want to make sure that my guys get taken care of, and it starts from the top all the way down. So that's what makes it work.
Well, let me throw a trick question your way. Did you put any pads on and try to take it for a ride yourself?
Oh no, I can't. No, I can't. I'm not that athletic to do it. I mean, I could put it on to look good, but if you try to get me running, I'm gonna get hit. I'll probably jump and be like, I'm done.
Well, Aaron, we're happy to have you back home in the Bay in Corpus Christi. Is there anybody you want to give a shout out to?
My family, appreciate y'all's support. I want to specifically say, if you are looking for homes or you're looking for a place to live, my older brother works at Palm Harbor Homes, and my sister Amber Dart is a realtor. So, if you're looking for homes,
shout out commercial. There you go.
look for them. And as far as the team, I'm ready to go. I want to bring a championship here to the city. Appreciate everything Kevin and the ownership group is doing for us. The coaches, all the coaches I've met, have a relationship with them as well. So just appreciate what everybody's doing, and I'm just glad to be back home.
What did you miss the most while you were gone?
I'm a big breakfast taco guy. So,
hey.
I love Mexican food. I'm from Corpus, obviously, so
yeah.
You don't get food like that.
Where are those cities that you talked
Obviously,
about? Yeah.
So up north and just being everywhere I was gone for 6 years. So just being back home, it's been a blessing, and I'm just glad I'm around family.
Yeah, we're glad we're back. We're glad you guys are taking this, making this investment, Kevin, and you investing your talent in back here with this Arena League. It's exciting. We're excited here at the Chamber. I want to thank you guys for joining us today. I want to thank you for your time. I want to thank our audience who's joined us. This was United We Podcast with the Tritons. Get your tickets at Ticketmaster.com and check out their website. What was the website?
TritonsArenaFootball.com.
TritonsArenaFootball.com. We will see you guys again next time.